Feeling a chill, Magic?
You could say that. I've been staring at the night sky trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
You're observant, Hunter. You tell me.
You were trying to figure out how to bring Wanda back.
Close, Hunter. But no. Something much more sinister has grabbed my attention.
Sinister?
When I was holding the trans-dimensional door for you back there, I sensed something was at the docks with you. Something dark and familiar.
What did you see, Illyana?
I did not see, I said. I sensed something there. But that's not the only thing I sensed today.
Oh?
Something has shifted in Limbo, but I cannot quite put my finger on it. All I know is that whatever is happening is also strangely familiar to me. And when all you knew was darkness and despair growing up, that warm, fuzzy feeling of familiarity is not just a warning sign, but an alarm bell.
I know what you mean. Reminds me of my mother. There is almost a comfort in it.
Yes, you understand. Not many can. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
Hunter.
Erethole! I mean, hello there. Apologies, I was astral projecting with someone in the backwards verse.
Do you find life in the Abbey different than before?
Very much so. I've read more since I arrived here than I did in the past 5 years.
You are a sorcerer. I thought you loved books.
I don't speak of tomes or grimoires, reading for pleasure, an escape from life's harsh realities and myriad travails.
I bet I can guess your preference.
Go on. To what genre am I most partial?
History books.
And what sort of history?
You like to read about ancient history.
No, I've experienced ancient history myself. Historians tend to downplay the brutality. The question that most intrigues me is, what if? So much of reality shifts when you alter certain crucial choices. With effort, I can watch these realities play out. But I find alternate realities far less entertaining than the fictional histories imagined by others. I shall...
The goddess disagrees.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet. But I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah. I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way?
That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered, together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments. Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten.
Fascinating. Noble Oster guides my hand. The goddess must be busy. She does not see it happening. She believes in our purpose. The gods are fickle. Must not be her purview.
An elemental rod. I should take this back to the altar.
This looks like a fairy ring. She does not see it happening.
Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush, and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key?
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
The old magic still holds. What was Wanda up to here? There are cracks in this wall.
The goddess disagrees.
Blessings of the goddess. Intriguing. That is something. I was always drawn to this place as a child, but somehow I had almost forgotten about it. Curious. Was I ever really this innocent? Maybe before I started my training. What is this? This rubble looks loose. Interesting. Oster smiles upon me. The Standing Stones. There is powerful magic at work here. I need to find the next moon seal.
seer known as Endra Moore is buried here. Much like Nico, her powers came dangerously close to crossing the line, but she was among the most loyal of the Midnight Suns.
This is which sign? Caretaker hardly spoke of him, but I like to imagine my father was a great hero whose spirit protected these woods. Ah, I see. Ah, I see. That is something. Curious. Fascinating. Intriguing. Perhaps a witch from the Salem Coven made this. The grave of Jeremiah Kane, another host of the Spirit of Vengeance. I wonder if he was as conflicted as Robbie is about being a Ghost Rider.
I see you found one of the elemental rods. If you'd like to keep going, you may keep searching for more.
This is a little cryptic.
It's a clue. Don't worry if you can't solve her riddles all at once. I'll translate new clues every night.
But the Abbey grounds are huge. How will I know where to look?
You used to love running around these grounds as a child. If you need a refresher, study your map. I see you found another of our mystic landmarks. These are the Standing Stones. Your ancestors among the Blood used them to converse with the Elder Gods.
How does that work?
Members of the Blood would gather among the stones and enter a sort of meditative trance. They say the gods would hear their thoughts, but the Blood never knew for sure who was listening on the other end. Some of the older texts refer to a series of glyphs etched on the stones, but at first glance they seem to have been scoured clean by time itself.
Could they still be revealed somehow?
You read my mind, Hunter. I suspect the glyphs are still here. They just need the right words of encouragement, if you catch my meaning. Hello, Hunter.
You said something
In a
earlier
world full of
about
mysteries,
the blood
have met. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible. But even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wundagore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much. But I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the Moon Seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings.
The gods are fickle. Must not be her purview. My old fort. Caretaker. I never got the chance to truly know my mother. Only the monster she became.
The goddess must be busy. Must not be her purview.
Library radiates that fresh spell battle aura. Makes for an ideal reading nook.
gods are fickle. She does not see it happening.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave?
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the Mother of Demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon joined the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
If only it were always this easy to bring a family together. Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you could thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest. A working man, you could say. Authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo.
Interesting.
Good day, Hunter. I remember when I used to go out on these missions myself. At least I can always rely on you.
I need to find the next moon seal. The goddess disagrees. The goddess must be busy. The goddess must be busy. is this? The gods are fickle. The goddess disagrees. Goddess of Order approves. She does not see it happening. Must not be her purview. I need to find the next moon seal.
It's always good to see you.
Come along, Charlie. The goddess disagrees. Feeling good today, girl? The goddess must be busy. I need to find the next moon seal. She does not see it happening. The gods are fickle. Interesting. I need to find the next moon seal. I will see if I can find you a treat later. I need to find the next moon seal. What is this? Curious. It does not seem right to intrude in their space.
Is one of the elemental rods. One more to go.
Be right back. But
I would not like it if they tried that on my room. Ah, I see. That is something. Fascinating. Must not be her purview.
Feeling well today, dear? Something on your mind?
Noble Oster guides my hand.
Just what I was looking for. There, finished.
The moon seals are ancient talismans of the old gods. And in your case, they are the keys to unlocking an even greater gift.
Is that why Wanda was here? In pursuit of this gift?
Just as we started with you as a child, I allowed Wanda to experiment here, with the hope of focusing her powers through training in basic elemental magic.
But that is not what happened.
Wanda's connection to the old gods, to Chthon, was not the same as yours. She isn't descended from the blood, and the trials weren't meant for her.
But you knew this before she started.
I did. And you should understand that I regret not putting a stop to her efforts sooner.
Then what really happened here?
When Wanda tried to use this moon seal to access the next trial, the Bloodgate didn't open. But the seal's power did have an effect. She had visions, both terrible and somehow alluring at the same time. What started as idle curiosity became a compulsion for her.
And now I am on the same path. So, where is the next Bloodgate?
Beyond the Standing Stones, if memory serves. I doubt you'll have any trouble finding it. The second Bloodgate. I should warn you, Hunter. You may find the trial ahead more difficult than I originally let on. The gods will push you harder, and you might very well fail.
And if I do?
You dust yourself off and you get back in there. Or you train, rethink your approach, and come back later, when you feel ready.
And what if I am hurt? Or worse still, what if something happened to Charlie?
Neither of you will be harmed, dear. That's not what this is about. The Elder Gods want to see what you're made of, but they're not out to get you. Well, except Chthon, but you already knew that.
Then I should make an attempt while I am here.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Just enjoy yourself. You're the only one getting an opportunity like this.
I will do my best.
Oh, and Hunter? I should mention, you'll only be able to make one attempt at the trials per night. Even the old gods grow weary of their children eventually. Good luck. When many of the Elder Gods were corrupted and became what we would call demons, the god Atum, born from Gaia herself, was set upon our world to slay monsters. In that sense, the two of you have had a shared purpose. Fight well, Hunter, and he may just his blessing.
This is a serious predicament for you.
goddess must be busy. Intriguing. Good girl, Charlie.
Yes, dear? Hunter?
Does not seem right to intrude in their space. I should come back another night.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. See you tomorrow.